Yeah, it's time to find out. Who is Arizona going to face en route to their next national championship? It's the AZ Wildcats Selection Sunday show in 30 seconds. Don't you go anywhere.
Welcome on in, guys, to the AZ Wildcats podcast, live from Studio K, presented by our friends over at Circle K. It's the AZ Wildcats podcast. As I already said, I am Damon Fairall. I'm with my guy, Kevin Thomas, and we're here, as the rest of you guys are, just to watch a little bracket reveal and kind of give our live thoughts to what Arizona's matchups are going to be, what the route to the final potential Final Four would look like. But Kevin, I got to start things off here. Didn't have it yesterday. Some people are saying may have contributed to the loss. Today, I walk in the studio. I got my new Arizona hat on. You guys can't see that. 97,
It's
1997
fire hat.
national championship.
Very fire hat.
We are speaking it into existence here, Kevin. The fact that we this is what we want again here in the desert. This is what we want in Tucson, in Arizona, up here in the valley. I'm manifesting it, Kevin. It's national championship time as they put the national championship trophy on your television screen. If you have that kind of dual cast situation going on at home like we do here in studio. Kevin, how are we feeling on Selection Sunday? Any type of matchups maybe you'd like to see? What seed would you like to see Arizona get? Just kind of general vibes.
I mean, honestly, I don't really have too many expectations for what I want Arizona to get seeded, to be quite frank. You play the teams you play, and I feel like Arizona has been battle-tested all year. I'm not really worried if they have a tough route. They've had a tough route all season, right, Damon? So my thing is, it's a fun day. It's an exciting day. It is finally time for the most electrifying, enjoyable time of the college basketball season, March Madness, Damon. And, this is step one to cutting down the nets and having a great tournament, right? That's all you want to see is a great, exciting, electrifying tournament, and that's what we're going to have. And this is, like I said, is the first day of that. So that's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling good. It's an exciting Sunday.
As our first names here start coming off the board in the South region, I don't think anyone really expects Arizona to be in this South region. I believe most people are assuming Arizona is going to be the top 4 seed in the West region. And I say that in the sounds weird, but I'm saying like the top 4 seed overall, thus giving Arizona the West region. I think Arizona is going to be, underseeded as a 4 seed, Kevin. If this team showed what they've shown in the Big 12 conference season and into the Big 12 tournament throughout the course of the non-conference season, I think Arizona's sitting here looking at a 2 or a 3 seed right now. And I really do believe that that's more indicative, Kevin, of what this team is, rather than what we saw in the November, December area of the world. Like I don't put much stock into that at this point. But yeah, I think that Arizona's gonna have a tougher matchup than they probably should because of how bad their non-conference was. But ultimately, as you said, Kevin, like this has been a gauntlet of a schedule all season long. I'm not sure that this is anything new to these guys. We got to expect a big tough matchup against a really, really solid team that probably won their conference to get here, right? As a 13 seed. So, and we see UC San Diego playing Michigan here. UC San Diego, I saw Kevin on a projection sheet last night that had Arizona as the, I believe the 6th favorite to win the national championship with some analytics. They had UC San Diego as the best double-digit seed to reach a Sweet 16.
Wow.
At 16%.
Wow.
Chance to reach a Sweet 16. So
I mean,
seems like a tough matchup there for Big Ten champions Michigan. Who Big Ten? Can we talk about that for a second? What a dogfight of a championship today. Michigan versus Wisconsin, 59-53. That's just the way basketball was intended to be played, Kevin. Big Ten basketball, get better and better every year.
Yeah, no, Damon, I was actually going to mention how cool it was. They just showed Michigan getting, obviously the automatic bid, and they're finding out their matchup as well. But I thought that was really cool, too. You have your medal on your neck. You just got done winning the damn thing, and now you come over and you sit down and get to be on national TV and celebrate it in that way. That must be really fun. That's what I thought. I didn't really get to watch much of the game, unfortunately, today. As Damon knows, I got actually a little peek behind the curtain. I locked myself out of the dog park with my dog still inside the dog park today. So that's how I spent my early afternoon.
It is indeed, Kevin, how you spend your early afternoon.
But no, but the Big Ten is that's just Big Ten ball, baby. That's Big Ten ball all day.
As we go down here in the South region, North Carolina making it, Kevin. I think that's kind of somewhat of a shock to people.
Yeah.
North Carolina was I think very much so on the bubble. But as is typical with, these blue blood teams, if they're on the bubble, they make the tournament because, frankly, they've somewhat earned it. I'll be honest with you. I don't know that like the past really should influence the present, but you look at a team like a Syracuse or a Michigan State, for example, and Syracuse isn't a blue blood, don't get me wrong, but you look at those schools like that have had success in the tournament, Kevin, and then when they get in as like an 11 seed or something, they oftentimes are going on runs because they're very talented teams that, had poor regular seasons and are peaking at the right time. So I think it's interesting that, North Carolina makes it here. Yeah, we got this. You know what? I'm sitting here. We don't got Yale. We didn't get Yale.
Not an Ivy League.
Clap it up, everybody. We didn't get Yale. Woo! Woo! I didn't want that, Kevin. If you couldn't tell,
that's electrifying. See, it's truly March. We got Damon standing up, clapping, doing the damn thing.
Eric, we didn't get Yale.
Rigby, we did not get Yale.
We didn't
Breaking
get
news.
Yale.
We officially did not get Yale.
That's huge, man. Obviously, last time Arizona played an Ivy League matchup, didn't go so well. Princeton kind of dog walked us.
Yep.
Yale is a team that dominated the Ivy League all year this year. They won their tournament this morning, and that was definitely a team I had circled as like a team that I did not want to face. Absolutely not whatsoever. I'm trying to remember. I think it was Matthew Rain on Twitter, Kevin. I know you're familiar with.
Yeah, I am.
Rain on Wildcats. I want to give him his credit here. He tweeted something that I found or that I kind of agreed with, and it was just that like if Arizona matches up against Yale, they're gonna shoot 33-point attempts and make 14 of them. Like there's never been something more set in stone in the world. Thank God we avoided that, Kevin.
Yeah, no, I mean honestly, shout out to Matthew Rain on Twitter. He does good stuff there. But I was laughing because that is exactly how it would go, Damon.
100%.
And if Arizona's matched up with a team like Yale or Princeton again, something like that, they would absolutely shoot the lights out, and it would be gutting. It'd be absolutely gutting and just disgusting. But thankfully, we don't have to have that reality be our reality.
Yeah.
And yeah, Damon. I mean, are there any other matchups you don't want to see Arizona have? Because I know there are some that you really want to see. I know you want to see them face Illinois. Erica wants to see them face Memphis.
Definitely didn't want to see Yale. Did I say that already?
I don't know.
Did I make that clear?
Wait, can you repeat that one more time? I didn't really catch you.
Did not want to see Yale. I think another team I would be pretty scared to see is, and not because of anything related to play style, but just because of the narratives around the game, would be Xavier. If Arizona matched up against Xavier, I would be peeing down my leg, Kevin. I was trying to.
The narratives would be really annoying.
There are some words we can and cannot say on some of these shows, and I was trying to work through in my head whether or not one of those words was going to be in there. Yeah. So we're going safe. I would definitely be tinkling down the leg, Kevin, if Sean Miller came into town and played Arizona. But I don't know. I want a team that plays fast. Ideally, I think I'd like a team. And Kevin and I live, once they break down Arizona's side of the bracket, we'll get you all the matchup data on Arizona's newest matchup here in their next game. But yes, I'd love a high tempo team, Kevin. I think that's really where I'm sitting right now.
Yeah, no, a high tempo team would fit everything Arizona wants to do, right? I mean, I'm kind of tired of facing teams that want to slow Arizona down, like a Houston or even a Kansas or even like these Big 12 teams just really want to slow things down and make it a fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I would love to see a team that just says, hey, Do you want to do sprints for 40 minutes? Let's just do sprints for 40 minutes.
Oh,
and
this team is winning.
See who can make more transition layups.
Yeah. Oh.
And that's what I want to see.
The whole tournament.
That's what I need to see.
Yeah.
And so that's what we got. We got a big super chat from my mom here. Shout out to you. She wants to know if my dog is okay.
That is a big super chat.
Yeah, it is.
Thank you, June. We appreciate you.
But shout out to you, Mom. But yeah, no, Jack is fine. It was just a situation where I had the leash and he went into the dog park, and then my hand slipped on the door and it shut, and I didn't have my key. And so he was looking at me and I was looking at him holding the leash, and I'm just like, buddy, I can't.
Did you just like sit down, put your hands in your pockets, and just kind of just be like,
no,
wait
I actually kind of did the Jimmy Butler, because the height of the gate, I can like lean on it a little bit. So I was kind of doing one of these, just like looking at him, just like, buddy, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna get you out of here. So I just had to wait for someone else that lives in the same apartment complex as me to walk by and be like, hey, do you have your key by chance? My dog. That's my dog that I'm holding here from the outside of the gate. So yeah, no, he's good. He's chilling.
Glad to hear it. Glad to hear it, Kevin.
Everything is good. But like I said, I would love to see. My matchup I would love to see is Illinois. I think that would be awesome.
For sure.
For kind of the opposite reasons of Xavier, right? Because if you face Xavier...
Well, I know Kylan Boswell has given us 4 of 13 shooting, 0 of 5 from 3 in that game, Kevin. So with as many turnovers as assists. So yeah, you're right. It is the opposite of Xavier.
Yeah, it's opposite, because the Xavier narratives would be so annoying that, like, because if something were to happen in that game, it's like, oh, automatically Sean Miller is here and Tommy Lloyd is here and whatever. It would be way too much baked into that game, right? But I feel like the Illinois stuff, as nasty as some of the internet stuff could get, I think if you touch some grass every once in a while, I think that it could still be a really fun matchup just for the Kylan Boswell of it all, and whatnot. So yeah, Damon, I'm excited to see who Arizona could possibly face, as we got number 1 seed Duke in the East region getting matched up with either American or Mount St. Mary's. My condolences to those two fan bases. That's unfortunate. But yeah, Damon, are you excited? What are your favorite your favorites for the Final Four right now? Before we see the bracket, what teams are you feeling? These teams are my big dogs outside of Arizona.
To make it far in the tournament, you're saying?
Yeah, to go all the way.
I mean, we've talked about Houston ad nauseum. I believe a lot in Houston. I love this matchup for Baylor.
Yeah, I just saw that too.
And I'll be honest with you. I think Baylor is the type of team that could beat Duke in the second round. I think Baylor has an incredible amount of talent, and I think they're really well suited for being a team that could peak at the right time. I mean, they also they're a 9 seed. They could definitely lose in the first round here as well, Kevin. So it's I'm not saying it's like they're a lock, but I do as far as like a lower seed, I think Baylor is a team to watch out for. Obviously, I've watched a lot of Big 12 basketball.
4 seed Arizona in the East. We're heading to Seattle. We're going to visit Seattle, Damon Dog, and they're going to face Akron. Arizona, 4 seeded, will face 13 seed Akron Friday in Seattle, Washington, Damon. We have the matchup. It's off the board. You have Oregon. Let's kind of back this up here real quick. So in this little bracket here, we have Arizona facing Akron, the 5 seed Oregon Ducks. Oh, that could be a fun rematch of a Pac-12 matchup, Damon, in the second round if Arizona can get past Akron, because they face Liberty. Oregon faces 12 seed Liberty, and then the winner of that game would face Arizona if they get past Akron. And then you also have Duke on this side of the bracket. So honestly, Damon, instant gut reaction to this seeding right now. This is the revenge tour for Arizona. The Big 12 tournament. I mean, I know they didn't get it done against Houston. Damn it, that's okay. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You're not going to get them all. You're not going to get them all back. But hey, you have a chance to get back at Duke in this one too. So I'm all about this. I'm kind of all about this. I'm not ecstatic.
Taking it all in.
But this is a very fun bracket right here, Damon.
Yeah, it is interesting. I love that Oregon matchup, as you note for us, Kevin. I think that has the potential for some fireworks, some good back and forth with a fan base that, unfortunately we're not going to have as much back and forth with as things go on. But, luckily we're seated with them there. Here's the downside of this. Arizona, if they do make the Sweet 16, good chance that they're going to have to play Duke, who is the number 1 ranked team in all of college basketball and has been for a majority of the season. I think that, that's you're also likely going to play Duke in their backyard. I don't know exactly where it is. I see that the first and second round are in Raleigh, North Carolina. I don't know where the Sweet 16 would be yet, but we'll find that information all out for you as we keep going. But yeah, interesting matchup for Arizona there. And also on the same side as Baylor. Could potentially see Baylor again in the Sweet 16, Kevin.
Lots of familiar faces for Arizona on that side of the bracket, Damon, for sure.
Akron is a really good team as well, I will
say.
The
Zips.
Yeah, they dominated the MAC all year. 28-6. They're the 99th ranked KenPom team, Kevin. And here's the big kicker. I think we got what we wanted here. 39th in pace out of 364.
Let's go! We're gonna have a fast-paced basketball game once again.
Indeed. Oh wait, that was luck. They're actually 16th in tempo. Even faster.
Let's go! Let's run it up. Let's go. Almost went crazy. Let's run some wind sprints. That's what I want to see. Yeah. I just want to see dudes with the what do you even call it? The parachute. I want to see dudes running with the parachute up and down the court. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I need to see. So yeah, Damon, that's exciting. Akron, high-paced team. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm excited, Damon. It's Election Sunday. I don't even know where to go with this now, because the most interesting part about this to me is all the fun matchups that Arizona could possibly have. There's a couple of rematches in there as well. A lot of familiar faces, Damon. Very exciting stuff. Are you a little disappointed that they're a 4 seed though? Would you have wanted them to be more of a 3 seed, or is this about what you expected? Obviously, all the projections had them kind of nailed into a 4, but how do you kind of feel about that?
It's like I said at the top of the show, Kevin, where it's like I felt that Arizona is going to be a team that's just like, and I think deservedly so, but naturally going to be underseeded just based off of the way how bad their non-conference schedule went. So it is what it is. I think they earned that. And they've made their bed. They have to get themselves out of it, right? I kind of agree, Sean. I think this is a pretty difficult bracket. I don't think Oregon is necessarily the toughest 5 seed in the world, but I do think that upper region, that Sweet 16 matchup is fairly difficult for an Arizona team here that was hopefully looking for maybe a little bit of an easier matchup. But yeah, it is what it is, Kevin. I think the revenge tour aspect, the Duke aspect of things, that's fun. I'm with that.
Yeah.
I'm very much with that. Arizona versus Duke in the tournament, I feel like in recent years it's been a good matchup for the Wildcats. So yeah, interesting. I'm a little surprised. I think that you are as well. I thought that they were going to be in the West, but
yeah, me as well. Yeah, I did.
So this matchup is in Seattle.
It is Seattle, Washington, home of Pike's Place, whatever market. It looks like a very cool place. I would love to go. But yeah, no. Damon,
just wanted to add that in there.
Yeah, dude. I mean, hey, you closed mouths don't get fed, Damon, dog. You know what I mean? You got to put things out there into the universe.
So that's a call to Espo. Just throwing it out there. Kevin would love to visit Seattle.
I mean, I've been talking to my girlfriend about moving to Seattle at some point in my life.
Wow. Like just putting the podcast on ice. I
said at some point in my life, this could be in my 40s, Damon. I don't know, 50s. Who knows?
No, it's fine. Give up on us, Kevin.
All right.
We don't even care.
Damon, dog. All right, Damon, dog. You know what? Arizona is for sure taking a trip to Seattle. And I'm with it, Damon. I think it's going to be a good time. I know the bracket is very, very tough. Like it is. It is very tough. I'm not denying that. But I think that this is an opportunity for Arizona to yet again prove that they're one of the best teams in the country when they're playing their best games. And hell, who knows? Cooper Flagg, he damn near broke his ankle about a week ago, Damon. So it's not like Duke is at their absolute most peak right now as well. So yeah, Damon, I'm a little more optimistic than I think other people might be about this bracket. I know it's tough though. But I am feeling pretty good about this. And
it's unfortunate every time you get placed in the side of the number one overall team in the entire tournament, I think. So I think that's where probably a lot of people are at with it. Again, like that Oregon matchup isn't too frightening to me, Kevin. I don't know exactly how you feel on it, but I've seen, that's not a team. Like Big Ten teams, frankly, just don't scare me. Is that a bad thing? Like, Am I discounting them? Maybe I don't know, but
I think inherently you are discounting them when you do that.
I just don't really respect them.
I don't necessarily think you're like wrong to do that. Like the Big Ten is not necessarily the strongest conference this season, right? And I think some of the teams, even at the top end, maybe would be in the middle of a conference like the Big 12.
I really do
something
think
like
so.
that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, none of the Big Ten teams kind of really intimidate me in that way. And yeah, Damon, I'm with you on that. I think it's a good take.
Well, Kevin, would you mind pulling the screen back up for us here as we hopefully get out of commercial pretty soon here? Drop in the chat, guys. What do you guys think about Arizona's matchup? How is everybody feeling right now? Let's turn this into a therapy session of sorts. And it doesn't have to be a bad therapy session. It could be positive. If you guys like where Arizona's at, I think that hop in here, let us know how you're feeling. But yeah, Kevin, Arizona, 4 seed in the East. We don't get a lot of East regions, I feel like. I really don't feel like we get a lot of East regions.
No, a lot of West, a lot of South, right?
Yeah.
Dude, I really thought they were going to be in the West. I was kind of, the East kind of shocked me. I think our guy Saul Bookman even texted us like as it was going on and said, East? He was, I think this is the surprise, I think, in terms of where they are. Maybe not the seed that they got, but like what area of the country they're going to. So yeah, Damon, Akron ball indeed is about to happen with Arizona basketball. Damon, you wore the hat. Does this bracket affect your level of confidence in this Arizona's team's ability to make a run?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's like we obviously weren't going to get Houston in our as our 1 seed, right? We're likely going to be a 4 seed the entire time. So that leaves Duke, Auburn, and what would be the 4th team there?
Duke, Auburn, and
Florida?
I think so.
Tennessee?
I don't know, to be honest with you.
Well, so we weren't getting Houston. Houston here in the Midwest region. Gonzaga is their second round matchup.
Shout out Mark Few. Shout out
Mark.
Shout out Bulldogs or not. SIUE?
Yeah.
SIUE versus Houston?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's out in my neck of the woods.
Why is that crazy?
Because I didn't expect to see.
Just because you're from there?
Yeah, and I never thought anything of SIUE Eversville. Like,
where are you from again? I don't know if the people at home have any.
Let me make sure I'm getting the right school. SIUE basketball.
Yeah, they're in Southern Illinois.
Yeah, that's crazy. I just didn't think that they were any good. You know what I mean?
They're good this year.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Clearly.
Clemson, gross. Clemson, gross. Get it off my screen.
Oh, I hate Clemson.
Gross.
We will.
We're the biggest McNeese guys on planet Earth.
We will be taking McNeese betting. Dude, McNeese is really good.
I love the Mustangs. The Cowboys, what are they?
They lost like 2 games all year. I think they're the Mustangs. Purdue, the 4 seed. And let's see what their matchup is.
McNeese State Cowboys, Damon.
Purdue, High Point, which was a matchup a lot of people thought Arizona
Look at the High Point crowd go nuts.
Wow. I'm kind of.
That's a nice stadium.
That's
a nice arena.
Now that I see that, Kevin, I'm kind of glad I'm not playing these freaks.
My buddies were texting me in the group chat the other day talking about how scared they were to face High Point. Because they were like, they actually went and like were watching High Point games and they were like, yo, this team, not bad.
They're kind of good.
They're kind of good, man. Like, I had me kind of scared. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, I was like, maybe we don't want High Point. And here is number 6 seeded Illinois in the Midwest region, heading to Milwaukee.
Okay. I would have loved them as a 5. Yeah. Personally.
They're going to face either Texas or Xavier. That could be a fun game, Damon Dog.
What, Texas versus
or Xavier versus Illinois?
Yeah.
Couple of Arizona X's going at it.
How about Sean Miller taking out Illinois for the squad so that we can win our
this is what we live for,
our online war with Illinois fans. Does it get any better than that, folks?
Yeah, this is exactly what dreams are made of, Damon Dog.
This is facts.
Yeah. I'm with you on that for sure.
Feeling good. Wondering who's going to shake out to be the 4 seed here in the West region, Kevin. I think that's really where my interest lies at this point. Who got over Arizona for that particular accolade? Should be interesting to find out, Kevin.
Yeah, it should definitely be an interesting thing to find out, Damon Dog. I'm with you all the way on that. I mean, honestly, I'm still thinking about that High Point eruption that we just witnessed, Damon.
That was special.
That was electric.
Yeah, it was.
That was absolutely insane.
That's a school that they haven't been here before.
No, exactly.
And
they're
letting you
true.
know it.
That's true. No, that's a fact. But I mean, the arena looked nicer than I expected as well. Like maybe we're sleeping on High Point. Maybe we got to buy some stock in High Point one of these days.
Akron or High Point? I mean, who would you rather play at this point?
I mean, at this point, I'm thinking Akron. It's like at this point, I'm not even worried about Akron.
I'm still thinking about.
I'm just
High
thankful
Point.
we didn't get High Point. You know what I'm saying?
That's all I'm thinking about.
They were bringing the electricity, man.
They really were.
Yeah, man.
As I try to make a little graphic here, Kevin, for our updated thumbnail with our teams that we could potentially be playing on it. Duke, Oregon, Akron. Feeling decent about that little run. That sounds fun. At the very least, it's fun. It could be Texas Tech, Alec. It could be Texas Tech. I think Texas Tech will probably be like a 3 seed though in the West would be my guess. So we will see. I do think Texas Tech is likely a 3 seed, but yeah, Purdue. I wouldn't be feeling good about that if I was a Purdue fan. I was actually I went to a comedy show with my buddy Liam who went to Purdue last night, and we were talking about their team, Kevin, and he was just telling me that this is like. Because Purdue and to an extent, I think Arizona are upset you, like you circle that game and go like an upset could happen here versus Arizona versus Purdue. Like they're kind of the Midwest version of us in that regard. And he told me this year is shaking out to be a year of a team that is likely to get upset.
You mean Trey Kaufman-Renn is not going to absolutely carry a team all the way to the Final Four?
TKR
is not going to do that for you? That's kind of crazy,
respect
man.
Him.
Hey, Braden Smith, I respect for sure. He's a baller.
Braden Smith's really
He's
good.
He's a beast. But I was kind of joking about Trey Kaufman-Renn. I'm not going to lie. We also should probably be tracking here best reaction, Damon. So far, by far goes to High Point.
Oh, it's not even close.
I mean, Drake, what kind of energy was that even? There was barely any energy. The players were like on two separate sides of the – it was –
do you guys even care?
Like, what are we doing?
People are wondering if
you're Drake, not Duke.
Yeah, people are wondering if you guys even care at this point.
Have some excitement. What on earth do they got these Thunder players wearing in this commercial, Damon?
Are you one of those Celtics fans now that despises the Thunder? Are we at that point?
No.
That's becoming a growing. I
don't care about the Thunder.
It's a growing contingency online. I've noticed. A lot of Shea versus Tatum back and forth.
See, I hate that about the NBA fandom. That it's always like my star versus your star.
Totally.
It's really annoying, and like the Twitter stuff makes it even worse now because it's all non-basketball related stuff. Mm-hmm. Like you and I were kind of talking about it today about how people on Twitter are always like having discourse about stars unrelated to basketball, but all related to their personality and whether or not they like that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I think Jason Tatum's cool. I think he is cool. But no one else thinks he's cool.
Which is a bad take, but that's okay. I mean? You're allowed to have that bad of a take.
But I'm saying, like, all the criticism of Tatum online is like, oh, he's corny, blah, 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 blah. It's never like he's not one of the best players. Like, you know what I mean? It's non-basketball related stuff, which is why, the NBA community kind of loses me in a way with that. It's
fair.
No one wants to talk ball in that community. Well, Steven does. Our Suns guys do. But, like,
Eric wants to talk about Mike Budenholzer touching Eric's arm. Are you or Kevin Durant's arm? Are you crazy?
No, I just meant like on Twitter specifically. Most of the NBA community is more concerned with like, who's getting what sponsorships from what underwear brand and whatnot. It's craziness.
Skims,
it's crazy.
You're saying? You're taking a skim shot?
I am taking a skim shot. I am taking a little bit of a skim shot here, Damon Dog. I'm not gonna lie to you, but we are about to welcome in our guy Saul Bookman here in a second.
Love it. We need some juice from Saul here.
Yeah, we definitely need some juice for Saul here. Saul, how are we doing here today?
Where's the locale?
Good. What's up? Where's the what?
Where are we at?
I am at Kansas City Live today because that's the only place I could find.
You can't get enough, man.
Trust me, I'm getting all that I want and more today. So. No, dude, I think this bracket is good. I think it's a good bracket for Arizona. But we've said that a million times before. At this point, it's like, all right, shut up and do it. I think that's what everybody's feeling like. And we talked about it last night. Like they need to just go out there and play ball. And listen, Akron's a good team. They're a good team. They're not a sleeper. You got to come out and you got to play strong and solid. You should win that game. And then you got a potential matchup with Oregon in the next round. But again, every year, the biggest upsets are usually that 3-14, 4-13 range. So you can't sleep at the wheel if you're Arizona or Oregon. And then a potential Sweet 16 matchup. Stop me if you've heard this before, against Duke in the Sweet 16. That would be something else, man. I would like another shot at Duke. I ain't
Me
gonna
too.
lie. I would love another shot at that. So, and I think Arizona would too. So, and then of course, of all the chances, Wisconsin being on the other side of the bracket with a potential Elite Eight matchup, which is like, of course it would be Wisconsin on the other side. So
I didn't
I
even
just
notice
think,
that, to be honest. What a bracket for like Arizona lore. Like I don't know if it gets any better than that, Saul. Maybe an Illinois matchup, as Kevin and I were talking about maybe in like the Sweet 16 or second round would have been fun, but Arizona, Illinois seeding is not exactly matching up there. But yeah, I think it is. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I think as far as the Sweet 16 matchup, I'm happy with Oregon. I kind of relish that matchup against a Big Ten team. I don't really respect Big Ten basketball that much. I think that's a team. Obviously, Arizona has a lot of history with, and I feel like the pressure is somewhat on Oregon in that game, just given that Arizona has gotten the better of Oregon's been probably the best rival in modern Pac-12 history for basketball for Arizona, but Arizona has gotten the better of Oregon more times than not. So fun history-filled matchup there. A lot of recent history. But yeah, obviously things start with Akron and Akron being a pretty good team. Saul, did you do any research on Akron? Were you able to, or how are we feeling about the first round?
I know they got a good set of guards. Johnson's one of them. He averaged something like 15 points a game this year. He's a 6'3" guard. He's a good scorer. He can do a little bit of everything. That's about all I know about Akron. I don't have a full detailed breakdown of Akron, but I did talk to my guy Corey Williams. I believe he saw Akron once this season already. So he and I are going to have a full breakdown later on in the week about what they really bring to the table and all that stuff for Mikhail Madness as well. So you guys can stay tuned to that. But overall, I don't think any of us anticipated Akron as being that draw, and none of the mock brackets had Akron as the matchup for us. So we'll see how it plays out. But overall, I think it's Arizona has everything in front of them, and they have plenty to gain in this opportunity, and hopefully they can pull it out and get to the Final Four for the first time in 86 years.
Did you Saul, I don't know if you happen to notice one of the teams Arizona was most picked or mocked to face here in the first round was High Point. And Kevin and I got the absolute bejesus scared out of us, Saul, by the High Point crowd reaction.
Oh, they were turned up
to their selection. I don't know if you happened to see that. I mean, it was like one of those like English World Cup celebrations, like beers flying everywhere. I mean, they were pumped. And Kevin and I immediately were like, glad we didn't get High Point.
Thank God.
I mean, this is genuinely High Point's Super Bowl. And Akron was a little bit more reserved,
And I was telling Damon about how some of my buddies were doing some tape on. They were watching some tape on High Point because they saw that we might be projected to play them, and they actually got kind of worried. They were like, "Hold on, let's maybe High Point is not the walkover team that we think that it is." And after we saw that reaction, we knew that we dodged a bullet with that one.
So the betting line is all in on High Point this week. Yeah,
money for sure. Yep,
definitely.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep,
cool.
Taking out a second mortgage on my rented apartment.
As soon as I saw the bracket released, I immediately went to see how much I could get a flight out there for and a hotel for. So I was a little distracted in that regard. But so I didn't even get a chance to see the rest of the bracket. I don't know how it played out. I saw obviously the South region beforehand, and then the East region. So I think overall, I think the Big 12, Iowa State, they're going to have their hands full, especially if they can't get Keyshawn Gilbert back for that South region. But and then BYU at the bottom half of our bracket. BYU's not going to be an easy out for anybody, and if they can sleep on those guys if they want to. But
yeah,
BYU proved that they could play with anybody in the country outside of Houston this year, and it's going to be a tough out for anybody. Wisconsin, BYU in that second round, it will be a bloodbath.
I like BYU in that game.
Same. So do I.
Here in the chat, if you wouldn't mind putting that down up for a second, Roberto says, if only Kirk Kriisa was healthy, could have been a Boswell Kirk Kriisa game.
Ooh.
Damn. That's a missed opportunity.
That is a missed opportunity for
I would have
real.
been locked in on that game, live tweeting the entire thing.
Is it Kentucky versus Illinois?
I believe in the second round that would be the matchup if both teams took care of business in the first round.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I'm excited about Arizona's opportunity right now. I think they're playing good basketball despite the loss yesterday. So can they lock in? Yes. They've shown that ability multiple times. I think the Big 12, here we go. Did the Big 12 really get you ready, or was it all a facade? I think they got them ready. And I don't think that they're going to take the first round matchup against Akron lightly. And I don't think they're going to take a rematch with former Pac-12 foe against Oregon potentially lightly either. I think they'll be ready.
Yeah, I love it. I think that this does feel like a team that is pretty singularly focused in terms of like taking it one step at a time. I haven't really noticed them getting out ahead of themselves as, college basketball teams I think have a tendency to do. And yeah, I mean, I think, hopefully we see that effort and intensity in the first one. Kevin and I, and I'll have a preview here for us in a second, but we noted earlier, Saul, before we brought you on, that Akron is 16th in pace in college basketball, which I think plays into Arizona's hands a little bit, just given that Arizona likes to run out on transition. Like if I'll tell you what, like my ideal matchup, and before it was announced, Kevin asked me, like, who are you looking for in an opponent? I said, number one thing I want to see is I want to see a team that likes to run with the ball, that doesn't want to just like muck things up and slow it down. I think that when you get in Arizona's way in that regard, that's how you really stop them from doing what they want to do. And when they have to play a lot of, heavy half court offense, that's when Arizona's at their worst. So the fact that Akron wants to, play that fast does give me some confidence personally.
And so kind of back up, Kevin, I kind of went a little hard on you last night about you saying that this loss against Houston wasn't, it was a blessing in disguise. I'll give you this. It is a blessing in disguise because you would be very hard pressed to find a better defensive team in the country that would match up right after Houston and make you feel the same way, right? I think things will feel innately a little easier for Arizona, no matter who they played in the country in that first round. So I think that's a bonus. And then you throw in the pace, like Damon's saying, I think those two combined should make Arizona feel pretty good. And if they can lock down defensively, and play at that Houston level, then I think it's a recipe for a great game and a great afternoon for Arizona. But there's always that but. And the thing that you always got to worry about in the tournament is, if you've got to come out strong, you got to come out fast, and you've got to come out hot. And if you don't, then the other team's crowd starts to get into it, starts to get a little mojo going for Akron to pull off the upset, and then you're in for a world of trouble, because we've seen that movie too many times before, not only in the NCAA tournament but as Arizona fans. So let's hope Arizona can come out focused and take care of business.
Not just the Akron crowd though, but like, when you go to these games, and Saul, this from being at them, like the crowd gets behind whatever team is the lower seed in these games.
That's what I was talking about.
Yeah, so it's like they'll everybody will be in their mom in the stadium, and the arena will be an Akron fan. If they
I was there for
give an inch.
I was there for Buffalo. Oh, I was sitting right there. I was there for Buffalo, and U of A fans were plenty loud. U of A fans also did not travel to that venue very much. Idaho, kind of a crap place to try and travel to. Kind of expensive, and not a easily stop itself. See that? Not an easy place to access, but Seattle much easier. Arizona fans, it doesn't cost you an arm and a leg to get to Seattle for a couple days. Go to Expedia and just put a package together and go. It's not going to be hard. Hopefully, I can convince these guys to come with me. I'm hoping to go out there. So I think this is an opportunity for Arizona fans to be able to kind of make up a little bit of what we lost in Kansas City out there in Seattle, and have a good time. Seattle's a good city. It's not bad. So come ball out at Climate Pledge Arena.
Love that.
I'm down. Kevin was just talking about Saul, how he's been a Seattle bucket list vacation for him for a long while. So we're getting the streets are starting to talk about getting my guy Kevo in the mean streets of Seattle for some college basketball. But yeah, I mean, Seattle, great place to go. I mean, it's just a fun city. Like it's one of those places that it's like kind of just an excuse for Arizona fans to get out there and have a good time. I think, much more so than like a Kansas City in the Big 12 tournament, for example.
Sorry, Damon, but this is worth it. You know what I just realized, Saul? Even if Damon and I don't make it out there with you, if it's just you out there, without fail, we need video of you trying to catch a fish at Pikes Peak Market.
Pikes Place.
Oh, yeah.
Pikes Place, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We need that video. We need it like we need air to breathe, man.
I tell you what. One of the things that has been difficult here on the road, and man, this is first world problems to the 10th degree. Let me tell you. But I don't like filming myself do stuff. Like, I just don't. So like these vlogs that I put together, I'm like, oh, these are gonna suck so bad because I'm not really doing any commentary. There's no behind the scenes stuff that I'm just like filming. Like I'm not that guy. Like I'm not this guy where I'm just like, hey, I'm out here doing this stuff.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Like I just can't do it. So
I feel that.
I need some help, man. I need some help. So hopefully you guys will be able to come out and maybe we can convince Espo to loosen up the purse strings and allow you guys to come out.
That's Shane Diefenbach's job, putting cameras in people's faces and
I know he does such a great job.
Yeah, he does.
Shane Diefenbach, severely underrated. I apologize. I took you for granted. I miss you. I
was not familiar with your game. I must apologize, Shane Diefenbach.
I do got to go. I do got to head out to the airport. I finally get to go back home. But real quick plug. The Negro Baseball Hall of Fame, I mean, one of the top 5 sports experiences of my life.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Another selling point for Kansas City. And a lot of Black history in Kansas City that I was not aware of, especially in that district. So just wanted to throw that out there for people that are thinking about coming out next year. College Basketball Hall of Fame, Negro League Baseball Museum. Like, there's just so much history here in Kansas City. That's it for me. Appreciate you guys. I got to bounce. Go Cats. Hopefully we can get a couple dubs, and hopefully we can get one of you guys on the road with me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Would love it.
Peace out, Saul. Thank you so much for all of your coverage in San Diego. You wish it was San Diego. In Kansas City. Safe travels home.
If I was in San Diego, I'd be doing this crap from the beach right now. I'd be 100%. Like, hey.
Could you imagine the shot that would be? Oh my goodness.
Unreal.
Oh my God.
Unreal, but safe travels back home, my guy. Thank you for all your coverage. He is at Saul_Bookman on social media. Make sure you guys give him a follow for all of the phenomenal coverage he provided us while he was out in Kansas City at the Big 12 tournament, out at Kansas versus Arizona and Lawrence as well prior to that, and looking to keep it rolling here, keep the gravy train rolling with a purchase to Seattle, Washington.
I was about to say,
watch the Arizona Wildcats take on the Akron Zips. Kevin,
I was about to say, Damon, can I keep it real quick with you? Can I just keep it a thou wow, a band, a buck, a bean, if you will?
Sure. Please do.
Saul being on the train of us or one of us going to Seattle, I think
that's huge.
Is huge. Yeah, I was about to say it's a huge like chip that we have. It's a huge card in our selection of cards that we have because we're just two little guys. We're just two young guys.
Here's what I'll say,
and it's a lot
Kevin.
to go to your boss and be like, hey, can you cough up to full round trip tickets to Seattle, please?
Here's what I'll say, Kevin. I think you put me in a pretty bad spot earlier when you were like, man, it would just be
I realized that.
A dream.
I did realize that. I felt bad when he said one of you, though. Because at first...
It would be a dream if I could go to Seattle with a twinkle in his eye, everybody. He's sitting there. He's like, that would just make a little boy's heart just explode with happiness if you guys could make that happen. Meanwhile, they're like, yeah, we might send one of you guys out to Seattle. You guys can decide amongst yourselves who would be who would want to do that. And here's Damon, having been to Seattle one other time in his life, would be an awesome opportunity, just being like, yeah, well, can't take that one now.
Guess I'm hanging out with Johnny and Bo for another week. Just no breaks, no time off from
Kevin.
Johnny and Bo.
Sounds like Kevin made the choice there already.
Well, see, look, he started by saying both of you out there. You know what I mean? So I thought we were in the clear to mention that. Well, first of all, we had that conversation before Saul got on, right? We had that conversation pre-Saul.
Yeah.
And then Saul hops on, and I'm thinking, all right, he said both of us. Let's reveal it. And you said how I mentioned it. And then he broke out the one of you guys there at the end. He said, maybe we can get one of you guys out here. And then that's actually when that exact thought crossed my big old forehead right here and said, oh, maybe I accidentally screwed Damon Dog out of going to Seattle. Just by my sheer enthusiasm for wanting to go there.
Your childlike wonder of the city and the amenities in place. Who knows, Kevin? Maybe we'll see. Yeah. We'll see what we can do here. But that would be awesome if we could at least get one of us out there. That'd be incredible. If not, Saul will be out there and we'll make it work. But Kevin, Arizona, the 4 seed in the East region. Let's go ahead. Who is the 4 seed in the West region? I do want to know that.
I can get that for you as well. We're gonna pull back up the situation here. Oh, they're actually showing the West there at the bottom of your screen. St. John's the 2 seed. Texas Tech, the 3 seed in the West, facing UNC Wilmington. And then the 4 seed is Maryland facing GCU and Tyon Grant Foster. Fun one.
Oh, they got GCU in the first round.
Yeah.
See, why didn't they make that the matchup? Arizona versus GCU first round.
How fun would that have been? That would have been crazy electric.
That would have been one of the most electric games of all time in the first round. People would very much care about the outcome of that game. GCU fans, I mean, there's literally never been a more Super Bowl game in the history of Super Bowls than that game, Kevin.
Never in their life.
Maryland. Let's look at their side of the bracket and just kind of hypothetically, where would Arizona be if they got Maryland's 4 seed in the West? They would hypothetically play Memphis or Colorado State in the next round. I think Colorado State is playing some good basketball right now, so that would be a tough 12 seed potentially, but. Memphis, Erica's matchup that she wanted.
Yeah, she was praying for that one.
Would have been interesting. Could have been GCU, Memphis, the path there, and then potentially Florida. I'll be honest, I think that is probably a better bracket for Arizona's case. I don't know. I mean, I think the first round matchup is probably a little bit better for Arizona with Akron over GCU. But the next round, I'd rather play Memphis than Oregon, I think, and definitely rather play Florida over Duke. But who knows? Maybe Cooper Flagg is not 100% either.
I was about to say, yeah, that's what I was about to say. I'm not so sure. I was going to cut you off and say I might pump the brakes on the Florida over Duke thing.
Yeah.
Or Duke over Florida thing, just because of Cooper Flagg's injury and his coach already talking about how he wants to put health first, and it's just just simply not worth it for him to push through an injury. So if he's not 100%, I don't think he's going. So I feel like
it's fair.
So I feel like if Arizona was to face a Cooper Flaggless Duke or Florida, who looks like one of the best teams in the nation for sure, I feel like
they did.
I would rather.
Though.
Yeah, they did.
Florida did lose though.
They did, but you know what I mean. Like I just feel like I'd rather face a depleted Duke than a full strength Florida, if that's the case.
Yeah, I'm with it, Kevin.
Danger.
I do think that the bracket is fun from a storyline standpoint, and honestly, like, I'll be completely real with you. Like, I know that the bracket matters, but I feel like sometimes you don't really realize how a bracket played out until after the tournament, even.
Exactly, yeah.
Like, I'll tell you what, when Arizona played Houston in 2022, the team, the Ben Mathurin team, they got dominated by Houston. Like, when that bracket first came out, I remember thinking to myself, Houston's a tough 5 seed. They've lost 5 games all year, and they're a 5 seed. But at the same time, I wasn't thinking, this is the best 5 seed I've ever seen. And then after I played them, I specifically remember thinking to myself, wow, that was the best 5 seed I've literally ever seen in my entire life. So you never really know until you get into the madness of it. You could think something beforehand, and it could be completely opposite after the fact. Duke you could be like, wow, that's a tough. They're the best number 1 seed. Like, they're the top seed of the whole tournament. And then you end up playing Duke, and Cooper Flagg, plays 25 minutes, and, you beat him by 8 or whatever. So you never know. And I do think that is a game that Arizona and Caleb Love in particular, Kevin, would have circled, as a matchup he would have liked to have seen again, because obviously things didn't go good for Arizona in their last game versus Duke. One of the probably 2 blowouts the entire season, Iowa State and Duke, I'd say. So
what was the Wisconsin score? I feel like the Wisconsin.
No, that wasn't a blowout. I think that that was a fairly close game at the end, and they shot 500 million free throws.
Yeah, I guess I was more so just asking because my memory failed me there. I guess I wasn't really. It was 103.
Wisconsin did score over 100. Yeah,
103 to 88 on that one.
But it was a close game at the end of the game. I think
with you.
Wisconsin pulled away at the very end there. But
Lost Highway says Akron game is minus 13.5. Should we preview this minus 13.5?
Let's do it.
We have the Akron team preview. Nope, we do not. That was the Kansas one. My apologies, Damon Dog. It is truly
matchup.
It is truly a Sunday, but
that
the
would
Akron,
be a really tough first round.
That would be a
matchup.
brutal first round matchup. But this is the Akron team preview you guys put together on the fly by our boy here, Damon Dog. 28-6 record, 17-1 in conference. Absolutely dominant in conference, only losing the one game. Offensive rating good enough for 66 in the nation. A very efficient offense. I was looking at that as well on their KenPom.
Yeah.
As Saul was explaining his Kansas City situation to us. Defensive rating 107.1, 183rd in the nation. Just pretty much below, the middle there in the ratings there. Tempo 16th. That is the huge part of this matchup here. It is an up tempo team that Arizona can kind of go strength for strength with in that way. And strength of schedule, this is a huge switch up from all of our other preview graphics from conference play until now, Damon. 277th in strength of schedule. That is not exactly a Big 12 schedule that they're running up there.
I had to. That's one of those ones, Kevin, where all season long, every matchup that we've played has had a top 25 schedule in the entire country, and then now we're playing teams that are going to have weak schedules like that. I'd love to see Oregon's schedule as well. What are we looking at from an Oregon standpoint, strength of schedule standpoint? Oregon was 19th in strength of schedule, so they've been
Big
battle
10,
tested.
Big 10 ball, baby.
Yeah, and Big 10 ball has never been overrated in the tournament, so that's another thing to take mind of. But Oregon, very middle of the pack pace team, by the way, 151, Kevin. So will be interesting to see kind of how Arizona does against contrasting styles here in the tournament, especially in the early rounds.
Yeah, it will. And I mean, honestly, we're looking at the.
Thank God we didn't get Yale. Man.
Yeah, we're still looking at the
still living off
broadcast
that high.
here.
Still living off the high of Yale being seeded not to Arizona. That's my championship this year.
My championship this year, Damon, was watching that High Point celebration and realizing the bullet that Arizona dodged by not getting High Point. Mm-hmm. So we're really on the same page, just in different fonts there. Iowa State, I noticed, matched up with Lipscomb in their first round matchup. I believe it was in the South region as well. So some Big 12 teams. Kansas has Arkansas that's a tough.
7 seed Kansas, 3 seed Texas Tech, as we kind of predicted.
Yeah.
Here in the West.
Got UNC Dub.
Could be playing Missouri in the second round.
MIZ.
Your boys.
MIZ.
ZOU.
BYU VCU in
That's
the first
interesting.
matchup. Yeah.
I want BYU I more than I need oxygen to breathe air, Kevin. That would be a fun game, I think.
Yeah, it would be a fun game, Dame. I'm not going to lie to you.
I love St. Mary's there against Vanderbilt.
I'm excited to see what this Oregon team looks like.
Could you imagine if Arizona got through and played Alabama and the fireworks of playing Alabama in the Elite Eight?
Whew. You know the battle that would have gone down between Mark Sears and Caleb Love?
Yeah.
Can you imagine just the dueling banjos of them trading threes back and forth? Big bangs.
That could happen, right? In the Elite Eight,
Big bangs. I'm talking bang! Sears, bang! Love response, bang! Crowd just keeps getting increasingly electric. I'm painting the picture in my mind, and I'm sad we missed out on it. But
did we, though? That was my question to you as you kept going on that.
Yeah.
Alabama is a 2 seed. If Arizona is to make it to the Elite Eight, they will, on paper, play Alabama. So definitely.
Who's the toughest matchup Alabama's got on there? I guess that's what I was trying to get at, was who does Alabama have to go through to get there? Because I'm not.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm not sure Alabama is going to make it. I know they can, but I didn't really see their matchups there. And yeah, this is a pretty cool little stat they're showing on the
Alabama would have to play St. Mary's or Vanderbilt in the second round, then Wisconsin, Montana, BYU, or VCU in the Sweet 16.
Okay, they can get there.
They could.
Yeah,
I think,
definitely could.
Dude, BYU Alabama might be the most 3-pointers made in the history of a NCAA tournament game.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fun. That one's gonna be really
insane.
fun.
I hope that happens. Rooting for BYU to beat Wisconsin. Rooting for BYU to give Alabama just a run for their money there. Clemson in Clark's
Wow.
Final Four.
Clark Kellogg
Wow, Clemson
has
versus
Clemson,
Florida.
Duke,
Was
Michigan State.
College football.
This is Seth's.
Florida,
Seth has Michigan State coming out the South, Florida coming out the West, Houston and Duke.
3 1 seeds and a 2 seed.
Yep.
Hell of a job, Seth.
Job well done. And then he picked Florida and Duke. Honestly, I'm not sure Duke gets past Houston if that matchup comes to fruition. Like, I'm really not sure that they do.
Feed me Houston all day long. That would be a nightmare. If Arizona makes it out of the East and Houston's sitting on the other side.
Oh, no. How did I not think about that? I was looking at it, too.
I would throw up all over
my
myself.
God. It'd be like that Family Guy. You and I would be like that Family Guy clip where, like, they're just throwing up and then someone else throws up and then we're just throwing up on each other.
Yeah.
It would be disgusting.
It would be a mess
Oh,
here at
no.
PHX HQ if that happened.
I can't believe that's a possibility.
SEC got 14 teams in, Sean
Oh,
says.
my God.
Man. What's crazy about that is just that, like, I feel like the Big 12 year in, year out is going to be the best basketball conference, or at least the most consistent, right? Like, the SEC will hit a snag and go lower. But that being said, like, whenever a conference that Arizona is in, from my perspective, they never get the benefit of being like, oh, this is just the best conference in America. We had to put 14 teams in. It's always like, yeah, the Big 12 was incredible this year. They beat up on each other, so only 7 teams. And then meanwhile in the SEC, they're like, were you an SEC school? Yes, you're in the tournament. Welcome to the show, Vanderbilt. You're a 10 seed, even though you got 14th place in the SEC. Like, that's crazy, no?
No, yeah, it is crazy, Damon. I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like that you pulled out Vandy right there as a name. I don't know if you were primed by the broadcast that we're watching, because they did show Vanderbilt's very tame celebration that they had, and it looked like they were just in the little film room.
Business trip.
And the little recliners.
Love that. I
You know
kind of
what I
love that.
I like it. I don't know. I mean, you're Vandy. You're Vandy. You know what I mean? You can act like you haven't been there. You're allowed to show some joy. You know what I mean? I don't think fans would be upset if you were actually celebrating making it to the big dance. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not something you should take for granted. Now, if you're Arizona fans, I would take that approach. I'd be like, yeah, it's Selection Sunday. We're definitely going to be seated. Like, we're always going to be there.
Yeah.
But I would love to see a little bit more joy out of the Vandy boys. You know what I mean? Just show some smiles.
Why not?
Yeah, have some joy to this basketball season, Damon. Also, I wanted to pose this question to you, Damon Dog.
Okay.
You and I should do a bracket challenge this year. I feel like we should do a little head-to-head mano-a-mano for some sort of challenge or bet.
Okay.
And whoever at the end of the national championship we can figure out how to determine if you have the most correct picks or most points or whatever.
Who knows ball?
We'll figure out the rules of it as we go. But I think that could be a fun idea, and maybe we could even set up a group bracket challenge as well, separate from that, for everybody in the chat that wants to show off their ball knowledge as well. I think that could be a really cool thing to do. Maybe we make it diehard only. Maybe who knows? Maybe you got to become a diehard to get into the bracket challenge. That could be a good idea as well.
Yeah.
But I think that'd be fun. David,
Sounds like a great time.
I do bring this up though to ask you,
Here's
what
an
are we
idea.
putting on the line?
Yes. So I think this is, we need to flush this out. I think we can get our guy Max to get some prize for a diehard only March Madness tournament bracket that we can get going. If you are a diehard, we'll get you in that. And I think there can be some sort of reward probably for the folks that sign up to be a diehard. I believe still $36 to be a diehard. You can get a $34.99 t-shirt as part of that purchase. So it's essentially $1 to sign up to be a diehard right now. And that doesn't, expand upon all the access that you get, including this March Madness tournament bracket with potential prizes at the end of it, including, paywalled articles from our guy Gerald Bourget on the Suns, including
Saul Bookman doing
Discord
his thing.
access.
Saul Bookman doing exclusive video stuff as well.
Yeah.
Shane Diefenbach, we were talking about, appreciating his game earlier. He kills it with some of the diehard only video stuff that they've been doing. So yeah, make sure to become a diehard. It is worth it. We're doing fun stuff like the bracket challenge. So
Eric,
join the club.
I'd love to hear you expand upon what the Gritty Boys t-shirts are. You're saying the Arizona basketball team was wearing that when they got announced. Love it. Never been more certain that this team has what it takes in my entire life. I'm ready to be heard again. Kevin, let's get back to what stakes we could potentially have on the line.
Real quick. Sean asked a good question in the chat. Do you guys think Duke could possibly be upset by Baylor or Mississippi State in the second round?
Yeah.
I actually was thinking that Baylor. You said it actually.
I said it right
But
live when we were reacting.
That was something I was thinking as well. That
Yeah.
Baylor is not something you could just walk over, right? So I think Baylor could.
as-
They're there to be had. Duke can be had, right?
As far as basketball talent, you can't get much closer to Cooper Flagg than VJ Edgecombe, I feel like, in college basketball this year. VJ Edgecombe is
like
insanely
Cooper Flagg
talented.
here, and then whoever is 2, but like he's closest to. I get you.
I'm saying you like I'm not saying he's the guy, but I'm saying
Yeah,
that
no, I got
he's
you.
up there in terms of matching 1-for-1 talent with one of these top guys. So, with that being said, like then you have a Norchad Omir, you have tough guards, you have the Roach element, revenge game for Roach. I don't know. I think Baylor could definitely take him down. Mississippi State, haven't seen enough of them this year. SEC is God's gift to basketball, though, so you have to assume that they would have a good chance, right?
I mean, the SEC is pretty much the greatest thing since sliced bread, the wheel, and the pyramids. So I think you have to just give it up. Game got to respect game. And honestly, should we even play the March Madness tournament, or should we just do I think we should
It should be the SEC championship.
Yeah, I think we should just rerun the SEC championship. Give the guys a week off, reseed everything now.
Kevin, you know what's sad about that is that people actually believe that. Like when I went to the NFL Combine, the Georgia players on the podium, they were legitimately all saying they were getting asked the question, "What's harder to win, an SEC championship or a national championship?" And they all said SEC championship. They're like brainwashed in that part of the country, and it's like, how could that be true when the last 2 national champions were Michigan and Ohio State, non-SEC teams? So if they're winning back-to-back like that, how could you possibly argue that an SEC championship is harder than a Big Ten? Doesn't make any sense.
You ain't never going to face Vanderbilt in the national championship, by the way.
SEC people are crazy. They are insane. If you're watching with our streaming partners, head on over to gophnx.com as we wrap things up here, Kevin. Stakes for a potential mono-e-mono bracket challenge. We also, we don't have to figure this out right now. I love that we have a challenge in place. First games aren't until Thursday, so we do have a little bit of time to figure this out and some shows to get through in the meantime, Kevin. So we could just drop it there, tease it, say, hey, we're gonna stay tuned for the show throughout.
We'll get in the lab
throughout the week, and Kevin and I will have a bet for a bracket challenge, Damon versus Kevin, who will come out on top. It means everything.
Honestly, it is everything. Yeah,
it is everything. Arizona, a 4 seed, playing Akron in the East region on Duke's side of the bracket, on Oregon's side of the bracket. Some fun potential matchups for you guys. SEC is in fact a disease, Lost Highway. If you are in the chat, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Kevin, I'd be remiss before we got out of here. I have to mention our golf scramble that we got going on at PHNX. Are you a golfer? Now is the time to sign up. We got a 2 p.m. shotgun start at Dobson Ranch Golf Course. We've done 2 tournaments out there already. Both have been electric. Both have been fun. We'll be doing a third one. I can't wait for it personally. I'll be driving around in my golf cart, helping out, doing what I can. But it's going to be April 12th. We got a scramble going. 2 p.m. shotgun start. The PHNX Green Jacket Open. All sorts of prizes out there. I believe there's going to be some Spinato's pizza afterwards to feed the folks. You're not going to want to miss that, guys. So head on over to gophnx.com on our events tab and sign up for that. Get a foursome going. If you got 2, I think you can still sign up. If you got 1, you can still sign up, Kevin, and just be placed into your group. But if you can find you and 3 other buddies to head out there, it's going to be a great time. Like I said, we're going to have all sorts of games, prizes, things going on. I believe you'll be fed. And Dobson Ranch, one of the best golf courses in all of the valley, so you're going to want to hit that thing up. AZ Catch $2 with another buzzer beater super chat. Our guy, he's been crushing the super chats.
We love you, AZ Catch G.
I wish there was a way we could funnel this back into AZ Catch G. Like, how can we help my guy out? How can we, what's his business? What can we do for AZ Catch G as he continues to support us, Kevin, in our journey? AZ Catch G, $2. Good job, guys. We will see Baylor in the Sweet 16. I would love it. A third matchup versus Baylor. We own Baylor. We've sucked them all season long. I do want to say, would you mind scrolling up all the way to the top, Kevin? There was a Baylor fan in this chat earlier. Here he is.
Yes.
Elaine Tran, I believe is how you would say that. Elaine, thank you. Congrats to you guys as well. I will also be rooting for you guys if we play each other. No hate on my side. I love to root for whatever conference I'm in outside of ASU once I get to the tournament. You know what I mean?
Part
of me was even like, as gross as it is, Kevin, part of me was always like, if UCLA puts on, it kind of makes us look better in the tournament. As much as I hate UCLA, ASU is the only team that I'm really like, I never want to see them happy or successful.
Yeah, they just don't deserve it.
Well, because if they got, God forbid, they get further than us in one NCAA tournament, Kevin. Remember 25? Remember 25? That was crazy. And you're like, yeah, the 1 year you got further than us in the tournament. Like they would treat it as such.
Yeah.
And it's like, guys, you lost in the Sweet 16.
Yeah, our guy Rome would be 5 years 5 years down the line.
Tattoo.
After every Arizona game would be in the chat saying, Remember 1945?
Yeah, 45 was crazy, dude. But yeah, God forbid, I don't never root for ASU, but always root for the Big 12. We'll be rooting Arizona along every step of the way, as always, Kevin, as you know, on the AZ Wildcats show. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Turn those notifications on so you know when me and Kevin are going live. Thank you for watching. Like this video, as I already said, if you haven't already. 27 likes, not nearly good enough for Kevin to get a good night's rest. We need 50. We need 50, guys. And then make sure after this stream ends, leave a chat, leave a comment that says what
give your national championship prediction.
National championship prediction. I was thinking, like, how far will Arizona make it in the bracket? What round will they unfortunately lose in? Or do you think that they're going to win it all?
Honestly, it's the same thing, Damon. National championship prediction and Arizona prediction, it's the same thing because Arizona going to be the national champion. So you have to have them in your prediction. It's about the score, not the teams. Because we know Arizona's going to be there.
Thank you, Parker. The hat is fire. I appreciate you, my guy. No other person, I don't think, has ever had this hat, especially not guys named Alec. They would never have this hat. And if they did, they'd probably look really stupid wearing it. That's going to do it for us today. Kevin, we're going to do a video of how Arizona's path to the Final Four will look / would look. So make sure you guys tune in for that. We'll get that up at some point tonight. So stay locked in for that. But until then, we'll be back for I believe a Monday edition of the AZ Wildcats show. But
I believe so.
But we'll get that all sorted out. But until then, peace, bear down,
and go Cats.
We all silly like the mayor.